Just want to share this quick story with you guys. Pretty crazy this past weekend. I've been hearing all these stories about these crypto bros that are harming themselves, offing themselves. One in particular, his name is Konstantin Galish. Just heard about this today from another investor that I follow on YouTube. And apparently, uh, because of Trump's tariffs this past weekend, on China, it caused the markets to basically crash temporarily. I mean, they'll come back up, right? I mean, it's no reason to panic. I mean, I saw my account go like negative 50K like that. I'm not really sweating it. I'm gonna buy more on Monday and buy more on Tuesday, and probably into the future if this continues on. However, this when it comes to a lot of the crypto guys, this guy in particular, he was leveraged, right? And to my understanding, when you are over leveraged like that and the market drops, you're screwed. They can liquidate all of your stuff, right? And apparently, he had like $30 million of his investors' money that just got wiped out like that. And it's not like you can sit around like I'm going to do, right, and wait for the market to go back up and buy more. When you're leveraged, you basically have to pay up, right? The margin, you have like margin calls. So obviously he couldn't pay that. And he decided to off himself, right? There's still a police investigation going on to see what's going on, but he was sitting in his Lamborghini, and apparently they found him in there with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Could there be something else going on? Sure, but I mean, this is, I mean, it's pretty obvious what happened here. Which brings me to my next point, that no trade is worth killing yourself over, right? And yeah, sure, he lost everything. He lost all of his investors' money. But, you know, yeah, sure, your life financially is wrecked for the time being. Can you rebuild? Is it gonna take a long time? Yeah, absolutely. But that's the position you put yourself in when you take those sort of gambles. And this is why I don't like using debt. I don't buy anything on leverage. I don't take loans. I like to sleep at night, and I don't make moves like that, right? I mean, I've even told you guys when it came to my like the cars that I bought, and for example, like the first dream car that I bought of mine was my DeLorean, or well, actually, if I back up, it was a Corvette. And I was at a point very early on where I could have bought the Corvette and I didn't, and I was like, if you know, I believe I did a coaching video on this. I said if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. And at that point, I couldn't buy it twice yet, you know. But once I got to the point where I could buy it twice and three times over, I bought it. Same thing with my DeLorean. Same thing with my Lamborghini. You know, as a matter of fact, when it came to my Lamborghini, I had some haters go, "Oh, you know, you couldn't afford the Aventador, huh? Couldn't afford the more expensive one. You had to buy the other Lambo, you know, the cheaper Lambo." And I'm like, "Of course I could afford to buy it. I don't want to put my I didn't feel good. I wouldn't feel good putting like $750,000 into an Aventador, or you know, or something like that. I'd rather put that money to work for me. I'd rather buy investments. I'd rather buy businesses. I'd rather put it in the stock market. You know, I mean, I wouldn't feel good about that, right? Even if I had $100 million, which I don't, I wouldn't feel good about that type of purchase. You know, I'm just kind of frugal like that. However, I bought my Lamborghini, you know, straight up cash, because I like to sleep at night. I own that car straight up, right? I have the title and everything. Same thing with my Lamborghini. I own the title. You know, same thing with this car. When I went to the dealer to buy this car, I literally walked onto the lot in my shorts and tank top like this, and I was like, I need a daily driver. I take lots of road trips. I need a lot of space. I got dogs. I got Cash's, you know, stroller. What do you got? And they showed me around, and I was like, okay, I like that color. I want one with every single option imaginable. They're like, that's it, top line right there. I'm like, sold. Let's go. And they're like, okay, Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to pull your credit. I'm like, no, I'm buying it cash. Oh, really? Yeah, just tell me, give me the total, and we'll do a little negotiating. I'll write the check right now. And that was it. And I just drove it off the lot. Um, so, so yeah, man. When it comes to using leverage, it's just not the way to go. Because when the market turns upside down, which it did, this is what happens. However, when you don't use leverage and you just like say buy equities that you can afford, and and just because here's the thing about the stock market, man, there's going to be volatility, but even during these pullbacks, where say Trump pulls something like this, where he implements a tariff on China, which in my opinion is just a bluff, right? I mean, really, it's just a negotiating tool. This is going to get worked out. He might even put a pause on these tariffs like he did last April. And what happened when he would put a pause on tariffs? Markets shot right back up, right? That's just how the markets roll. But historically, the markets always come back. This is why you don't panic. This is why I feel comfortable putting over half of my net worth into the stock market because I know it's going to come back. And the thing I don't like about crypto is it attracts a certain type of investor, especially when it comes to leveraging crypto, which in my mind is just so so risky, right? It is such a gamble because something like this can happen. I honestly don't know how that guy slept at night, you know, and I don't know if he owned his Lamborghini outright or anything like that, or if all his cars were leased. I don't know. But for me, the most important thing is being able to close my eyes and get a good night's sleep without worrying, like, oh my gosh, what if the market turns in the next day? Um, so So yeah, it's a very sad situation. But again, when it comes to crypto, it seems to attract like almost like the same type of people who would be attracted to like the get rich quick schemes, right? And it just doesn't work that way. I mean, there's a famous, I think there's a pretty good book out there called Get Rich Slow or something like that. And I just had somebody asked me recently on my social media, like, how long did it take you to get traction to the point where you became a millionaire? When you first started your business to the point where you became a millionaire, they were probably thinking it was like a few months. I was like, no, it was like 7 years, 7 years of nonstop hard work, day and night, 24/7, just constantly work on my business. And, and now, I'm making pretty much the same I'm making from my business in the stock market with my investments, and it's not in Bitcoin. I still don't own any. I own some ETFs actually. I don't own like direct Bitcoin, but I bought into like the ETFs because this is just a safer bet. Because the thing with crypto is it's extremely volatile, and it's great if you catch it, and I have nothing against it, but it's great if you catch it like when it drops, like did this past weekend. But if you buy at the top, I mean, yeah, that's not going to work out for you. Whereas with the stock market, if you invest in the right stocks, even if you do buy at the top and it then drops during a crash, it's okay. It will go back up. And when it drops during that crash, you just buy more shares, right? Sure, you could do the same with Bitcoin, but it's super volatile. Um, and right now, I think I shared my portfolio with you guys probably like 8 or 9 months ago, last December, when I told you what stocks I bought. And all of those stocks I mentioned, except for one or two of them, which were duds, and I've recently sold those off. But the majority of them, I'd say 80-90% of them, have been winners, and they've quadrupled in value since I gave you guys those stock picks like less than a year ago. And again, it's rivaling what I make with my business right now. And I was telling you this like basically all year long that I'm personally betting my investments on AI and quantum computing, and so far it's paying off. And I mean, we're even getting over like the AI stocks. Like it was asymmetrical for a long time there, right? Where it's just like shooting up in value. And now the quantum stocks are doing it. Uh, and that's going to be the future. I really believe there's going to be a 5 to 10 year bull run until 2035. Everyone keeps talking about AI bubble. No, there's no AI. Oh, no, no, don't buy into that. There's going to be a bull run over the next 5 to 10 years with AI and quantum computing stocks. Uh, Absolutely. I'm a big fan of Tom Lee from Fundstrat. He's been pretty accurate with his predictions, and he also says the same thing. He thinks the bull run's going to run till 2035. You know, when it comes to AI and quantum computing, and the next big bet that I'm betting on is robotics. I believe that robotics and drones, basically, um, yeah, air taxis are going to be also a big winner in the future. Um, but yeah, when it comes to crypto, I'm okay just holding the ETFs. I don't need to hold crypto itself directly. Sure, you can make a lot of money with it, as this guy did, right? He made what, like $30 million, and then lost it all overnight, and then offed himself. Now he's not even here. You know, and I've always said it depends what place you are in life. Because if I was in my early 20s, just starting out, didn't have much money, I got my whole life ahead of me, I would probably take some gambles on crypto and like owning it directly and getting in the wallet and all that. Because, you know, my 20s, I was desperate to make it. But now, you know, I mean, I'm 50. I just turned 54, and you know, I'm a multimillionaire. I own all my assets, own my homes, own my cars. Everything's outright. I don't owe any banks. I don't owe any of my credit cards. I pay it off every single month. At the end of the month, I pay the full balance, so I don't owe anything. And I sleep like a baby. I sleep like a baby, and I love it. You know, I mean, sure, I look at some investments and they skyrocket, but I mean, I'm happy with mine too. I mean, you can't have it all. My AI and quantum computing stocks that I gave you guys my exact companies that I was holding last year, again, have tripled and quadrupled in value. Like D-Wave, when I gave you guys that, D-Wave, Rigetti, those stocks were only like $6 or $7 a share when I gave them to you last year, right? When I did that video about what I'm holding in my stock portfolio. Where are they now? $35, $40 per share, at least at the time of this coaching video. Even right now during this crash, they're way up there. And I own thousands of shares of those things. I was like $6, $7. Wow, what a deal, right? I bought thousands of shares. So I've made out well. I've made out really well. And I'm gonna hold them. I haven't sold any. I'm gonna hold on, at least for the next few years or longer, because I do see a future with AI and quantum. Again, we're at the beginning. I really believe, you know, everyone's talking about how we're in a bubble. No, we're at the beginning of an AI bull run, over the next 5 to 10 years, man. So yeah, whenever I hear these like doomsdayers on the mainstream news saying that, oh, we're in a bubble, I laugh. I'm like, nah. There's gonna definitely be volatility. There's definitely gonna be pullbacks, like there was, you know, this past weekend. You know, Trump is gonna do stuff like this. He's gonna throw a tariff out there. It's gonna send the stock market into a tailspin. But that's okay. It's part of the game. It's just a game at the end of the day. However, you should never, ever, like, just please never leverage yourself like that. I know everybody wants to get rich fast. You just can't, man. It just doesn't work out. It just doesn't seem to work out. Anytime I tried to do it, it never worked out for me. It wasn't until I put my head down and I put the work in, and that it started to happen, man. And it's unfortunate that this dude offed himself. You know, I'm hoping that's not the reason, but it seems like that's the reason why he did, is because, you know, he lost everything, and, you know, he killed himself in his Lamborghini of all places. Yeah. I mean, I'm Catholic. I would, you know, you know, it's against the Bible to off yourself. It's not your life to take. It's God's life, right? He'll decide when it's your time to go, not you. So I would never do that. I would just go shoot, man. You know, I really put myself in a pickle this time. I mean, I just, it is what it is, right? It's no reason to kill yourself. It's like, so what? You're not going to drive your Lamborghini around anymore, and you owe $30 million to your investors. But you got to figure it out, you know. But not only him. Again, like I was hearing stories that there are like a couple of thousand reported incidents of crypto traders who have harmed themselves in one way or another because of um, the crash that happened this weekend. It just came out of nowhere. Like Trump announced these tariffs, and then suddenly, it's like boom, you know, the market's done. But anyway, sun's coming down. Yeah, it's really sad, guys. But that's all I have to say for tonight's coaching video. Is you know, nothing is worth offing yourself for, whether it's crypto or a bad deal or, or worse, your lady. I mean, yeah, this is on the level of that. I mean, but I was very surprised though, like today when I was hearing these stories from other investors that I follow saying, oh my God, these crypto bros are killing themselves. I'm like, what? I thought it was a joke. And it's like, what? Because of the market went down? It's like, yeah, however, it's not like they're in our position where they can just kind of wait for the market to settle, the dust to settle, or buy more shares, and then the market goes up, and everything is fine. Because again, the markets always come back, right? Historically, just don't panic, man. They always come back, right? I lost 50K just like that the other day. I was like, I'm not worried. As long as I didn't lose because I haven't sold, right? Because it will come back. It will come back. I mean, when I first bought those stocks that I gave you the other day, I mean, I'm like the worst stock picker too, but I'm gonna move out of this sun. But I think I mentioned, like, when I bought those stocks, like my timing is terrible. I bought them in the morning, like early in the morning, and I'm never up in the morning.
Buy it with a
and I'm never up in the morning, but I got up early that morning to buy stock, and I bought the stocks, and immediately I kid you not, probably like about 2 hours later, the stock market just dropped for I forgot what happened. Something else happened. But all of a sudden I look at my account, the stocks I bought 2 hours earlier were now negative 25,000. My account was negative 25,000. I was like, all right, I'm not going to trip. I'm holding it for the long term. This is the kind of nonsense that happens. I'm like, never fails. Whenever I buy a stock, the market tanks. It never freaking fails, right? And of course it tanked. But I held on, right? And here we are, not even a year later, like 9 or 10 months later, my account is up hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hundreds, I'm not kidding. I will share my account with you in the future. Like once I hit 1 million, I'm going to share it with you. And I have no doubt it will hit that probably in the next couple of years, if not less, if the market just keeps blowing up the way it has. So yeah, it's up a few $100,000, and I'm like, yeah, from negative 25 to a few $100,000, and obviously negative 50 after Trump's tariff announcement. And it might go down some more this week, but I look at that as a buying opportunity to buy some more stock, right? But again, it's not. When the market goes down, well, first of all, don't ever buy on margin. I had some friends who've also lost money this past week because of like Tesla. They tried to buy option contracts. I'm like, why are you messing with that stuff? Why? They have a business too. I'm like, you have a business just like I do to take care of. Don't suddenly become a day trader. We're not day traders, right? We don't have the experience or, the tools or, the platforms to day trade. I'm like, just buy stocks where you can set it and forget it. And that's what I like. I like stocks where I can set and forget it. And, when it comes to AI and quantum, just because I really see that it already is, right, becoming the future and, of our world and revolutionizing every industry on the planet over the next 5 to 10 years and wiping out certain industries. I'm betting on that, right? And so far, it's paying off very handsomely with the same stock picks that I gave you last year. So I'm not keeping anything a secret. I gave you my stock picks last year. Go back and watch that video. I think I uploaded it around December of 2024, if not January 2025, around then, around the time I bought them. Told you exactly what I bought, and I'm happy to share other stocks I bought. Like recently I bought APLD, I bought Wolf, WLF, several, I mean, thousands of shares of those. They've all gone up. Um, what other stocks have I bought recently? I bought in some ETFs just to park my money somewhere safe because I don't want to buy a bunch of volatile stocks. I want some safety, right? ETH, which is Ethereum. Tom Lee is big on Ethereum. So yeah, I'm not against crypto. It's just don't buy on leverage, right? So yeah, I bought into ETH. I think it's ETHA is the ticker symbol. I'm also heavily bought into TMFC, which is the Motley Fool ETF. I mean, these are just more safer places if you don't want to play like if you don't want to like put your money at that much risk. These are just some safe ETFs for you, real quick, that I could shoot off to you. That I've just that I've bought over the last few months that have all gone up in value. All of them. I haven't gotten any losers so far. The only companies I've dumped is Serve Robotics, just because I see too much competition coming in. That was one I gave you last year. I've since sold pretty recently, actually, in the past month when it went up. I was like, I'm dumping this stock because it really hasn't done much all year. Also, what else did I sell? I did sell one stock. It was QUBT, one of my quantum stocks, because they just issued a bunch more shares and they're just kind of overbought, and it's like dilutes the rest of the shares. And I don't know what they're doing, but they're like the only quantum computing company's stock that hasn't like gone to the moon, whereas my other quantum stocks have. Rigetti, D-Wave, IonQ. IonQ has been a big winner in my portfolio. And there's another company called IREN. So a lot of these companies you notice I'm buying are the picks and shovels of the AI and quantum computing market. So no different than back when we had the gold rush, and it wasn't the gold miners who got rich. It was the people who were selling the picks and the shovels. So I look for companies that sell the picks and the shovels that these AI and quantum computing companies actually need. So that's very, very vital, besides owning like the actual pure quantum stocks themselves. In any case, yeah, it's very sad for these crypto guys that have over leveraged themselves, that were buying on margin. They were buying investments with money that they didn't have. It's just, yeah, this is why, again, I don't like to buy stuff on debt. I know people get rich in like real estate because they use debt. I like Robert Kiyosaki. I remember reading his books when I was younger. I learned a ton from him, but I never felt comfortable with doing that, like leveraging debt. I mean, I know it's smart and yeah, you save a ton of taxes, but again, is it worth it to not be able to sleep at night? It's up to you. It's up to you. And these crypto traders kind of took that gamble, and it didn't pay off. It doesn't pay off when the market tanks like this. When whoever's in office suddenly issues like some sort of announcement that affects the economy and crashes the stock market. I mean, it's just crazy, because I mean, this is stuff that you would have thought stopped happening after the stock market crash of 1929. Like people, stock traders jumping off buildings and killing themselves because they lost their entire fortune. And even back then it was the same story. You would think we'd learn by now, right? People were jumping off buildings because they were over leveraged. They were buying on margin, and then when the market tanked, the margin calls came, and they were like, hey, pay up now. You can't just you can't tell them like, oh well hold on, the market's coming back Monday or Tuesday. I'm sure Trump's gonna back off on these tariffs. Market's gonna shoot back up. Nope. You owe us. We gotta liquidate. So that guy probably knew he was gonna lose his Lamborghini. He was gonna lose everything. In my case, if the market tanks, it tanks. I buy more shares, and I wait and I hold, and it comes back up. It always comes back up. Historically, it always comes back up. Whenever the market crashes, I look at it as an opportunity to again, to pick up more shares because it's a sale, right? It's like, oh shoot, we suddenly have a Black Friday sale out of nowhere. So yeah, a couple of the YouTuber investor channels I follow that I'll share with you guys is Zip Trader. I like Zip Trader. You can find him on YouTube. And there's another guy, Chris. Well, I think his name is Chris Lane. Black guy. He's really good. Chris Lane. I just usually watch his videos and I'm like, I mean, I've learned so much from that dude as well. But regardless, guys, sad day. Drop your comments below. I'll see you in the next one.